We're going to get started. Headphones on. Thank you everyone for joining. My name's Luke Pritchard. I'm with EY, I'm one of our AI and data leaders, and I'm really excited to bring onto the stage with me a very exceptional client of mine that's really changing the world. Everybody talks about satellite imagery. They think how cool it is, but it's one thing to look at it, see it, but there's another thing about actually using it in your business. And from an EY perspective, we're really excited here to present Fabrizio.
Thank you, Luke.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Well, so at Xoople, our goal really is to bring, I think for the first time, Earth data at scale and Earth data intelligence within the enterprise. So the idea is to be able to fuel enterprise AI, enterprise data intelligence with data that basically comes from observing the Earth. So myself and my team, we spent our whole career, so we spent 20 plus years observing the Earth, mostly from space, having satellites in space that generated images and delivering those images to customers worldwide. And sometimes a little bit of value-added data, but really, as most of the Earth observation industry is doing, basically we spent 20 years trying to sell images to enterprise customers or to government customers. And that was extremely frustrating. So we reached a point very early in which we understood that there was a huge mismatch between what we were offering, what the industry was offering, which at the end were pixels, and what actually the enterprise customer wanted, which was answer to their questions. And so we spent quite a few years trying to understand how big this gap was, and we realized that this was a huge gap. It was not just one bridge that we had to cross, it was a series of bridges that we actually needed to cross in order to actually be able to deliver Earth data within the enterprise to the end users in a way that they could use it. And so this is really what we have been doing at Xoople. So we have been quietly working on these for 6 years since we created the company in total stealth mode. We came out of stealth 2-3 weeks ago, so that's why we can finally have presentations like these, and we are at the point in which we can finally, in a matter of let's say a few weeks, have our first products into the marketplaces, into Databricks Marketplace, into Microsoft Marketplace. And so what we are doing at Xoople with our partners is actually developing the whole end-to-end system that solves our customer need. So a system that can generate a stream of Earth data, have that transformed into precise measurements, into information, all of that into an open data format, and then use that to fuel, at the same time, enterprise data intelligence and enterprise AI at scale. And again, that's done by generating what's effectively a trusted source of Earth information. Again, this comes from the needs of our customer. This comes from the fact that if you are trying right now to analyze at scale what's happening on the Earth, you just cannot. If you have, I don't know, a co-pilot and start asking questions about what's happening on the Earth, how many acres of corn are currently being grown in Ohio, how many buildings have started being built in Shanghai in the last couple of weeks, anything really, the answer is always the same. The answer is I don't know, and it's normally a combination of, well, I don't know because there is no data, and in particular there is no real-time data, there is not suitable data, and also that's a very complicated question. There are no models to actually solve for that. So we are, together with our partners, together with Databricks, together with Microsoft, together with Esri, we are putting together the set of knowledge that is actually required to solve for these two problems at once. Again, you can think of how useful it will be for decision makers in the enterprise, in governments, actually at any level, to use the information of what's happening in the world at any given moment. Understanding what's happening, understanding change, detecting and analyzing changing, making prediction, that's huge amount of extra context information that can be used, and that as of today is just not usable, and it's not usable because the barrier to that use are huge. We have different kind of barriers that we have been facing in our previous life as a, let's say, traditional Earth observation company. There were just pure business barriers. I mean, we were speaking completely different languages. We couldn't even understand what the customer were asking. And again, the terminology here, the taxonomy, it's incredibly different. It's across the whole chain is the space world, is the remote sensing world, is GIS, it's cloud, it's hyperscaling, it's enterprise, it's all the different industries. And just, it's not only us as the data provider that couldn't talk with end users, even the different parts of the chain couldn't talk to each other. So we had to solve for that. We had to solve for the fact that, as I was mentioning before, that the product that we were bringing on the market, basically pixels, was really not what the customer wanted. They wanted something completely different, and it didn't just require one step. The fact that we needed to use specific tools to move one step further towards, reaching downstream the end users, the fact that there was no integration at all between the data sets that we were providing and what the customers were using in their own environment, that basically made the value proposition impossible. And on top of that, there were a lot of technical issues. I mean, we were trying to provide data in the wrong format. We were trying to provide data that were separated from what the enterprise customer were using. They were completely siloed. And at the end, we just couldn't integrate them. And the knowledge and the technology barrier to actually ingest pixels, process them, extract information, extract the object, understand what was going on, understand the changes, work on the changes, make prediction. This technology barrier was just huge, and the traditional Earth observation industry is basically forcing each one of the customer to go through this journey by himself and then get the pixel as an input and try to get something at the other end by their own means. So we needed to solve for all of that, and so the idea is, let's bring Earth data into enterprise. Let's feed enterprise AI with Earth data at scale, and that enables a whole bunch of things that as of today are not possible. The capability of using this information, using the information of everything that's happening every day in the world, the changes that are happening, not only seeing them but understanding them, provides a contextual information that is key for decision making, and that's a key point that we can enable on day one. And then we can start feeding models. We can start feeding models that can try to understand through AI which are the relationship between different events that may happen in different parts of the world. If you are working in supply chain management and you're trying to use your demand planning, and you can understand what's happening internally in your country at all levels. You can understand what's happening in all the places in which your supply chain is working, in all the places that affect your supply chain, and put all this data within your tenant, within your models to extract information at scale. That's something that you cannot do right now. And at the end, the goal is to not only being able to use it for analysis, but to be able to use it for forecasts. So that's what we are bringing on the market at Xoople right now. So we will have very soon in the marketplace our first set of Earth data and data intelligence products. And the idea here is to remove all those barriers one by one. First and foremost, to try to speak the language of the end users, try to use their terminology, their taxonomy. We have been working with customers in our early access program across few continents, 12 different markets, and in all these markets we have been working to create small industry accelerators that basically can show each industry how these Earth data can be used for the benefit of their industry within their workflows. And then again, we are removing this huge ETL barrier that there is right now. So our enterprise customers don't need to access pixels. that's all the work that we do for them. We collect them, we extract information, we create advanced Earth data products, and we make those products available to them in their formats with the right licensing, by the way, so that they can use it immediately. And we are designing them to be AI ready and to be business intelligence ready from day one. And that's ultimately possible through the partnership that we have at Xoople. So it's about bringing these to the market at scale. So we're working with Microsoft, we're working with Databricks, we're working with Esri to make our data natively available within their environment. So the end result of these will be that every user of any products within the Databricks, the Microsoft, or the Esri ecosystem will be able to access our information without even knowing that it's from Xoople. They will get it automatically through whatever tool they are currently using. And that's key for the ease of adoption, frankly, of our product. So the same tools that they're using will just become better thanks to the data that we're generating. And for us, we started, because that's what we knew at the time, we started from more traditional geospatial use cases, more oriented towards a classical maybe GIS market. That's something we tackled within our early access program, monitoring frequently very large areas. That is something we are doing with the Alaska Department of Transportation on that, and providing them alerts and analysis on what's happening in Alaska on an almost daily basis. And then working with larger companies, working with company that works in logistics, in transportation, in insurance. And then what we started doing right now, also thanks to the collaboration with EY, is really moving towards the enterprise use cases. So really understanding, okay, we are providing a huge data set, but that data set must be integrated within the enterprise data, within the enterprise data intelligence platform, and so that they can just contribute to better decision making. So we have been doing some work in some of these use cases, and we really want to expand that as soon as our product hits the marketplace. And the reason why we're here really is that what we learned in the last probably 2-3 years or so, thanks to the work that we have done with EY, is the fact that if we really want to hyperscale what we are developing, we need to build these on Databricks. And we need to build that on the whole tech stack, because at the end, what we need is of course, as we mentioned, the open data formats. We need to have our Earth data in Delta, in Iceberg, with data sharing. We need to have that into lakehouses. We need to use AI for extracting information here. And again, this is not an LLM. This is a multimodal AI that is actually capable of understanding what's not just in an image, but in a multi-temporal series of measurements, and try to extract information from them. It's not just about identifying every single tree in the world. It's understanding which tree is what. It's understanding if it's sick, if it's okay. Understanding every single crop in the world, not only what it is, but how much it's gonna produce. What's the status? Does it need more water? Does it need more fertilizer? Is it getting ill? And again, that's based on a lot of AI, and in particular with Mosaic AI. And then, as I was mentioning, the fact that we are creating these data natively to be AI ready and BI ready by design makes it ideal to be integrated into the data intelligence platform, in particular with Databricks Data Intelligence Platform. Because again, for us, is making it easy for our end customer to consume our data at scale. And ultimately, that's linked to that, again, open format and Unity catalogs are really the two pillars that make our data usable and trustworthy at the same time. So, in a nutshell, that's what we're doing. We will have our first product, our first Earth data and Earth data intelligence product in the marketplace in private preview in a matter of weeks. I have my responsibles here. I don't want to commit to a date, but anyway, weeks. It's coming. The point is, we really want to be the source of Earth data within the enterprise. And what we're working on is on a global stream of trustworthy AI-ready data that hopefully everybody can use. So thank you. And I think we have a couple of minutes for a Q&A if needed. I don't know, Luke, if you wanted to add something else.